What is up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we checking out the Rogue2 carbon fiber. This is the hybrid shape. I'm going to be going into the specs. I'm going to be going over how it feels, the power, the control. You get to hear what my brother thinks about it, so stay tuned for that. But let's get into this. The weight of this paddle is 7.8 ounces, give or take 0.2 ounces. The overall length is 16 3/8 inches. The overall width is 7 3/8 inches. The grip circumference is 4 3/16 inches. The grip length is only 5 inches instead of 5.5 like other paddles are currently being released. You could do two-hand, but half of my hand wasn't on, my second hand wasn't on the paddle grip. The core thickness is 13 millimeters. The honeycomb material is second generation gel core and elastomer infused polypropylene. The paddle skin is carbon fiber 3K twill weave with in-molded texture, which is a lot different than raw carbon fiber that other companies are releasing right now. Rogue2 also has this exclusive vibration dampening carbon fiber throat reinforcement. It's supposed to make the paddle stronger at its weak point. Like I mentioned in another review, Riley Newman was playing with his Gamma paddle and it snapped in the middle of it. So with this carbon fiber throat reinforcement, that's supposed to eliminate that possibility. The gel core is supposed to do several things. It's supposed to increase a larger sweet spot. It's greater paddle stability on the ball impact, and it's supposed to reduce the vibrations. So it helps people with tennis elbow and stuff like that. And it also makes a softer ball impact sound. When it came to the power of this paddle, I feel like even though it was a 13 millimeter paddle, it wasn't, powerful enough or poppy enough for me to take it into singles and compete aggressively. I expected it when I saw it was a 13 millimeter for it to have a lot more pop than what it had. But I think the reason it doesn't might be a little bit because the gel core. I don't have any scientific, proof of that or anything whatsoever. That's just a theory. But usually 13 millimeters with just a pure polypropylene honeycomb core have a lot more pop, and this one doesn't. So I'm assuming the gel core has something to do with that. Whenever I'm talking about the gel core and how it doesn't, allow as much pop, that also affects the control in a pretty good way. I felt like when I was dinking, doing drops, resets, stuff like that, I didn't have to worry about messing up or anything like that. I played a singles game against my brother and we switched paddles. I can't remember for the life of me which one he was using. It might have been a Selkirk paddle. But whichever one of us was using the Rogue was able to control our shots so much more. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm pretty sure the gel core has something to do with that. It's a really good controllable paddle for a 13 millimeter. Like, it was very surprising. When it comes to the spin on this, the spin wasn't as good as the Flash or the Legacy Pro or anything like that. You're going to sacrifice a little bit of spin, but overall the paddle had, decent amount of spin to do, flip the ball over the net, to be able to do, your top spin serves and stuff like that. It's just not going to do, what the top raw carbon fiber paddles with the thermoform and foam edges are going to be able to do. When it came to maneuverability, I feel like it's middle of the road in terms of head heaviness. Like, it wasn't head heavy and it was like, to the point where it's hard to swing, but it wasn't super light like the CX14H was. So I would say it's probably in the middle of the road. If you're going to get into a hands battle, you don't have to worry about it being so heavy that it's going to, cause you problems. You're still going to be able to, perform in the hands battles the way you want to. The durability, I'm not exactly sure how durable this version of carbon fiber is. Carbon fiber in general is a pretty durable, substance, material. So I'm assuming this is going to last, a decent period of time. I don't know anything about the gel, how long the gel is going to last until it, starts messing up and breaking down and decaying. So I can't really, speak for the durability a whole lot. I know the throat reinforcement is going to keep it from snapping off at the neck. I can say that. Yes, I would use an overgrip. If not, I would take off the regular grip and I would put on a different grip, because the grip that came on this is ugly. The brown grips just look horrible. I like them a little bit thicker, so I would definitely put an overgrip on it, but if I wasn't going to do that, I would still put a regular grip on it. I would also add lead tape to the throat. I didn't own this one because I got to send it back, but I definitely would if, I had this paddle and, I was using it on a regular basis. Okay, the company, when I messaged them, they were very nice. They replied very quickly. They were like, hey, any information you want, we will provide it. We've seen you printed out papers and stuff with the information on it so you can read about it. That's where I was reading the gel course stuff from. They literally gave me information so I could, inform the viewers if they're wanting to buy the paddle or not. It all depends on, in the end, though, if I like the paddle and how my review is. But I was wanting to, tell you all that information as well because that's extra information that the company provided me. Because I always ask companies if there's anything they can provide me that I can tell the viewer that will help them make, a decision or learn more about the material, or the product they're buying. Okay, when it came to the price, I'm not going to lie. My brother went to go do the video review and was like, well, there's one thing I don't know. And I was like, what? And he's like, the price. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, let me guess. He's like, it's definitely over $200. He's like, most companies are doing that. And he pulls up the website right after he says that, and it straight up says $224.99, and it's marked out, and it's $129.99. And he was like, whoa, I did not expect it to be $130. Companies now are starting to make paddles in the $120 to $150 range, and they're good enough value to where you can go out and compete with them, and it's not going to hinder your ability one bit. And I didn't expect the price to be cut like that. That's pretty cheap for what you're getting. You're not going to get the spin like you do with the Vatic and the Legacy in them, but if you like the Rogue paddles in the past, this one could be for you, and it's not crazy expensive either.
What's up, y'all? And this is Jen. I'm here to give you my thoughts on the Rogue2. So for me, it took a couple games to get used to the really funky shape of it. But after that, it actually started feeling really good. The spin, though, is nowhere near as good as, say, the Vatic or the Legacy. But for $129.99, this paddle was more than adequate enough for you to buy.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. It's your all's decision if you want to buy it. There's positives, there's negatives. The spin's not going to be as strong. And if you're looking for a singles paddle, I probably would avoid this as a 13 millimeter. I would use this probably as a doubles paddle, especially after using the thermoform foam edge paddles. This one is really, really controllable. But yeah, that's all I got to say about this. I hope y'all have a good day. Y'all stay safe. Peace, y'all.